Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Athletic School podcast. Today, I'm joined by Anika Thompson, born in Oregon, representing Ireland, and already an European U23 champion in the 10,000 meters, part of the track and field team at the University of Oregon. And today, we'll dive deep into her mindset. Anika, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Your mom is from Ireland, and you were born in the US, but you decided to represent Ireland. Why is that? Creating the athletic school has been a long journey. Reaching 100 episodes has taken consistency, grit, and a lot of passion. Having incredible guests share their story has been a true pleasure. But now, I want to ask you for your help. If you haven't already, please follow the show on whatever platform you're listening from. It really helps me a lot. And I promise you this, I'll continue to bring on the best guest speakers I can, and I'll do my very best to share content that helps you grow, not just as an athlete, but as a person on and off the field. I'll study, I will read, and research relentlessly for ways to help you. And I'll share everything I learned right here.
Growing up, having dual citizenship has been a big part of my life. So my dad's American and my mom is Irish, and my whole mom's side of the family is living in Ireland. And growing up, we'd go there every summer um, to Ireland. So getting to compete for them has always been a dream of mine. Having that connection to Ireland and getting to see my family and my mom, she was a cyclist for Team Ireland, and yeah, it was always a dream of mine to compete for Ireland. And my American family can watch me compete here in the United States as I'm competing for Oregon and growing up competing in the U.S. But when I go over there, it's really nice for my mom's side of the family to get to see me compete. So I'd say that's some of the reasons why I like to represent Ireland.
That's fair. Do you think the choice gave you a different kind of motivation or a different mindset to compete? This episode is sponsored by CaliforniaAvocadosDirect.com, delivering rich, creamy, hand-picked avocados straight from a family farm in Escondido, California, to your door. No middleman, no mass storage, just farm fresh quality you can taste and trust. Packed with healthy fats, potassium, and fiber, it's the kind of real fuel high performance need, whether you're grinding on the field or recovery from it. Use the code The Athletic School for 10% off of your first box at CaliforniaAvocadosDirect.com.
I would say gives me a little bit of pride to represent part of my heritage, part of my culture. Ireland is truly a big part of who I am as a person, having those ties and connections to Ireland. So I'd say I just feel great honor when I represent and compete for Ireland. So that gives me ease when I compete for them, and it helps my mindset because I'm just so honored to represent my country.
You are such a young age and you already won a lot, not only with Oregon, but like I said in the introduction, you won the 10,000 meters representing Ireland. And a lot of the people that are listening to us, they are athletes and they're trying to become better athletes and in a way achieve some of the things that you already achieved. So what are some small daily habits that you feel that makes a lot of difference whenever you're about to go into a race, into an event?
I like to live my day to day as a champion, I guess you could say, as cheesy as it sounds, but if I can win the day every day, that itself is enough for me. Like going into the race itself, I truly believe I've already won because every day I did my best. I'm giving my absolute best, whether that be recovering, like I'm giving my best with the recovery after the hard workouts, after the hard runs. Um, I'm doing the run to the best of my ability. I'm just doing my best in everything I do. I like to say not everyone can be the U23 or a champion or win what you want to win, but you can choose to show up every day and take the steps it takes to um achieve goals and achieve dreams. And cuz the truth is I've had a lot more races where I'm disappointed with the result than satisfied with it, but at the end of the day I'm just very happy because I know that I gave everything I could in practice and recovery and everything. So just kind of that daily mindset of I'm going to win the day today, because that itself is the win, the process that goes into competing.
And I would like for you to elaborate on winning the day. And you mentioned giving your best. Do you
Yes.
feel like just giving your best is enough?
Um, I'll be honest, something I really struggle with is I tend to overdo it sometimes, as far as like either running too hard or not taking easy days easy, or just every day I'm just so fired up and motivated that sometimes it can be a detriment in my training because I went too hard. So learning to do my best in every area, whether that mean okay, I'm going to slow my run down today so I'm recovered, or I'm going to get 2 extra hours of sleep, or I'm going to make sure I get a 2 hour nap in the day, or I'm gonna make sure I stretch and roll out. Just all these little things that help you become better, whatever that is for you. For me, I'm definitely trying to work on not overdoing it, because there's some truth to that. Like, you can overdo it to the point where your body can't work out hard. So, kind of just being, I don't want to say the word obsessed, but being obsessed with the the work you're putting in every day, because the work has a purpose. You don't just work for the sake of working. Like, have a reason for what you are doing and really try to study and master that and find out what works best for you. And I'm still young, I'm still learning, and that's the beauty of the sport. I love all the different experiences, all the different training methods I try and stuff like that. And every day I'm just trying to get a little better than yesterday, whether that be slow the run down a bit, or like, okay, I'm gonna try and work on my form in this run, or just any little thing you can do to better yourself where you think you could be lacking, I think is what winning the day is. Just doing your best to get better.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I think it's okay to say that we are obsessed in a way. I think the only problem is it sounds negative, but I think, when you are obsessed, then you are working on your form. It's an obsession that
Mhm.
it's controlled in a way. It's a
Mhm.
smart obsession. It's not like you're just going out and running 10K every single day. I feel like that would be more dumb than being obsessed. But, being obsessed, it is taking a day off, it is recovering,
Yeah.
it's doing a foam roller and things like that. So I agree 100%. Um, and when it comes to mentally preparing yourself for either training or an event, is there anything specific that you do?
So that's a great question. I'd say I try to keep a positive attitude. Every time you see me at practice, I definitely have a smile on my face. I get to the start line of the race, I have a smile on my face. Having positive mindset, positive thoughts. And that kind of just comes from learning how to be kind to yourself. Like, I do this thing, if a negative thought pops in, I snap and tell it to go away, switch it with a positive thought. So I've really been able to get better at positive thinking and having a positive mindset. And I'm actually quite a religious person. I have strong faith in God as a Catholic, so kind of always giving thanks for the gifts He's given me, and surrounding myself with good teammates too really helps me stay in a positive mindset, get the mind right. Definitely, I like to stay positive, thank God for my blessings, and enjoy the day, I guess you could say.
So you won the championship. You were the champion of the U23 for 10,000 meters. What's your approach to recovery in terms of your mind, but also your body? Do you take a break? Do you do anything in terms of recovery, or you're like, okay, no, I have to get back out there? What does your recovery looks like after winning something like that?
It's definitely it's a lot, not just physically on the body, but like emotionally. I remember the kind of emotional high you get from winning something like that, because in I had 2 days or a day in between to recover for the 5K on Sunday, where I was able to get third in that. But the recovery in between that was very important, and it was very hard to sleep after being so exciting. But I tried to use that day in between the races to sleep all day. I honestly think sleep is one of the biggest underrated recovery tools. I've noticed when my body's feeling run down or very tired, just getting an extra few hours of sleep, going to bed early, getting a nap, like I think I got maybe 12 to 14 hours. I mean, that sounds like a lot, but I really needed that sleep and my body just feels like a brand new person. So I really have a big emphasis on getting sleep. And then after the competition itself, my body has really thrived off consistency in my training. So I've probably gone 6 years now with maybe taking 1 to 2 days off per year. But the way I've been able to stay healthy is instead of this is different for everyone, but my body kind of likes to keep loading. Like if I were to completely take 2 weeks off, I think I'd get maybe like a little injury because my body's not used to just doing that. But I run very easy for 2 weeks, just 30 minutes to an hour, just don't go faster than a certain pace, and I just run by feel. I don't think about pace. I don't get competitive. I just enjoy what I'm doing, let my body recover. So I call it like my 2 week of just running for fun, no workouts, just going out and going for a run, a jog. And that's really helped me stay healthy and stay fresh with the back-to-back seasons that track has. Like I did the U23s and then I was getting ready for cross country here in the fall. Now I'm in cross country. Then once cross country's over, I'll take a week to 2 weeks of just easy running, swimming, biking, and then yeah, you just keep it going and keep the consistency.
Hmm. So you mentioned that the weather there is not very good. So let's say it's early morning, you have to go to training, it's cold, your bed's warm, maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't have to go, it's an optional training session. Your time isn't there, you're not doing anything very good. You just don't feel like it. There's not a motivation to go to training, to do an extra workout. What makes you get up and still show up?
This is gonna sound a little funny, but caffeine has been like a huge thing for me. I just think as soon as I put that, and I use it an energy gum piece called Rev Gum. It's very good. I recommend using caffeine in your training, but like it makes me perk up immediately when I put the caffeine in. I'm just like ready to go, and I'm like, cause yeah, sometimes yeah, you're like, oh, it's so early. How am I gonna pull myself together? But as soon as I put that caffeine, then it's like, bam, I'm perked up, ready to go. And I think that's just the science of the way caffeine works. It's like a motivator in your brain. And it's funny you mentioned the weather. Like this weather out here, the rain, the cold, is actually something I really enjoy. I'd say I struggle more in the summer when it's like above 80 degrees. I'm like, oh, I
Mhm.
really don't like the heat. And that must be like the Irish and the Oregon blood in me. Like, this is my habitat, is like cold and rain. So whenever I have to run in the heat, I really struggle with that. And usually just set my alarm really early. And kind of that's my motivation. I'm like, okay, if I can run early in the morning, I'll beat the heat. So,
And you do cross country, so you do a little bit of a longer races
mhm.
than some other athletes that do track and field. What's going on your mind throughout the race? You're running a 10K, even a 5K. It's not like you're there for 3 minutes. No, you're there for, even though you run pretty fast, because I've seen your numbers, you're still there for a while. Is there anything going in your head? Are you talking to yourself or you are on the zone completely?
Um, I'd say when I'm doing really well in the race, I'm very much in the zone. I'm not even thinking about anything. I'm very relaxed. But when I run 5K and 10K, I always play the rule of for this race to work out well, I need to make it past the 3K mark in a 5K feeling good. If you are in a 5K race and you can stay as relaxed as possible till 3K, then the race will go well. So kind of trying to stay very relaxed the first half, a little over halfway through the race, and then that second half is where it's time to like get uncomfortable, as I say. So when running longer distance events, I think it's very important to just try and keep your body as relaxed as possible for as long as possible. I remember in the 10K in Norway this year, I just went behind the girl who set the pace, and it felt very good. And I kind of wanted to take the lead, but I told myself, no, if it feels good, it feels good. Let it feel good. Just chill for as long as possible. And I think that's the way to approach long distance events is just don't dig yourself a hole too early. Try to be as calm as possible for as long as possible. So that's definitely going through my head is just staying calm.
So, how do you manage the pressure after winning something big like the 10K for Ireland? The next time you go there, is there a pressure, or and how do you manage that pressure? Not even only for that, but for Oregon as well.
hmm The pressure in the sport is huge. I've That's definitely something I've had to learn over the years is the pressure of competing. And I kind of tried to play the game of I am not going to compare myself from a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago. I'm in the here and the now, and I'm executing what I need to do now. Because I think when you get into the compare game of comparing yourself to a past self, it gets kind of messy in the brain. You kind of get into the compare game when you should just focus on competing. And my coach at Oregon says something that pressure is a privilege, and she's kind of right. It's cool to be in a situation where, oh wow, there is pressure on me now because I've accomplished this stuff in the past, and you don't get pressure without accomplishing things. So kind of switching the mindset of pressure is a privilege has really helped me. So shout out
Mhm.
Shalane for that.
Yeah, no, I love that. And it's fun you say that about comparison because I feel like as athletes, we're
Yeah.
always comparing ourselves, and
Mhm.
especially with social media, it's impossible not to compare ourselves. But so I did an Ironman not too long ago, a half Ironman, and my time wasn't the greatest. I mean, it was a tough run. So, like, I was just happy to be done,
Mhm.
honestly, and I was very happy, but it took me maybe a week until I saw some friends of mine doing an Ironman, and they had a bad time, and they had a good time, a better time than I did,
Mm.
and that's all it took to take the sense of pride that I had, because now I'm like, okay, now I have to go back to training, and I have to do another one in order to feel better.
Mhm.
So yeah, it gets messy every time we play that comparison game. I think comparing ourselves to some people, it might be a good way to push ourselves, but if we don't control how much we compare ourselves to others, then yeah, it gets messy, and then it just put us down, and it doesn't help us at all. So I agree 100%.
Yeah, you said that perfectly. I think something that's helped me in my running journey is ever since I stopped comparing myself so much to others and more just focusing on the process, focusing on the here and now. I mean, it's helped me a million, and it's always going to be hard with social media and stuff going on, but definitely using that mindset of don't do the comparison game because it's tough in a sport like track and field or running or yeah Ironmans, all that time measure sports. It's very easy to compare.
For sure. Can you share a moment that things didn't go as planned for you and something that you learned from it?
I think I'll use my example of I've had many of these moments for sure, but I'll use, since we're on the topic of the 10K at Europeans, I'll use the example of 2 years ago in Finland at my first 10K U23. I was super fit, had done all the work, was going in very confident. I set a high goal for myself of getting in the top five, and we get to the race ready to go through 5K feeling great. I was in the top three, and there was a nice gap there. So I was like, I can do this, I can medal. And then all of a sudden, my body just shut down. And that can happen in long distance events, which is kind of scary. I call it hitting the wall or getting a bonk. Your just body stops working, and um, I definitely got heat exhaustion that day, and the race turned into not getting top five, but turned into just finishing, just getting to the finish line. And I think I ran 2 minutes slower than I'd ever run a 10K. And as soon as I got to the finish line, I just ran in or like fell into the arms of the officials, and they got me in a wheelchair. They put me in the medical room and got me IV'd up, and it was, I mean, I don't even, my parents said like I was totally slurred speech and everything. It was very bad, like very bad heat exhaustion. Ever since then, once I regained kind of my consciousness from being in the medical area, the first thing I said is, I'll be back in Bergen. I'm going to win in Bergen. I said that as soon as I got out of the medical area, and ever since then, just been so motivated, thinking about Bergen, wanting to do my best in Bergen at the U23s. And so to, after 2 years, work, like I say, work in the dark for your time in the light. I just kept working and thought of that hard moment in Finland. And when I got to Bergen, I was ready to go, and to be able to win after getting 11th in Finland with heat exhaustion just like was an example of, wow, like trusting the process. And even in Finland, I was ready to go and ready to have a great race. It sometimes just doesn't happen on the day. You could do everything right and it doesn't work out for you, which is why when I went into Bergen, I was like, no matter what happens, I've done everything I could. I've prepared for 2 years for this and done my absolute best. So no matter what happens, um, I've already won. So when to have that moment after a hard moment 2 years ago was so special, made it extra special for me.
Hmm. So you mentioned that having that goal motivated you a lot. But what drives you when there's no race coming up, nobody's watching you, there's nothing at stake necessarily? What's the one thing that drives you to still keep going and try to pursue something?
I think it's just my genuine love for running. I have so much joy in what I do. I'm so thankful every day that I get to do this, and when no one's watching, I'm still gonna go out there and do something to better myself in the sport, because I just love it so much. And it's kind of a simple answer, but whenever I think about it, when there's times where I have to work in the dark, it's just like it's a privilege I get to do this, because like not everyone gets to be healthy and be able to run all the time. Like I've been a very fortunate athlete that I've not really had an injury, so every run I have is a blessing, and I'm just so grateful to be out there to get a little better each day because I just love to do it.
Mhm. So do you think that if we think beyond the medals and the times that you
Mhm.
have and we take that all off, do you think that the love that you have for the sport would still give you the meaning to keep running?
Definitely, yep. I uh definitely think that helps me a lot in my journey, is taking away all the accomplishments. Like I actually do love to take away, at the end of the day, yeah, I take away all that bling and accomplishments and all that, and I just come back to my roots and my just genuine love for running. I just love to do it, and that's what helps keep me going for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that because one of the reasons I started athletic school was because I got to the point where I thought that as long as I'm playing, as I'm winning, I feel good, right? But then
Mhm.
when I was put in the bench and I couldn't play or we didn't win, I didn't have a good performance. I It's not that I stopped loving the sport, but I just didn't know what to do because I wasn't able to do what I loved, and I was thinking that my values were worth whatever the scoreboard was saying. So it took me a while to realize that, like, look, the result is the result. I can't really control the result, but as long as I'm performing, as long as I'm doing what I like to do, which is in that case was playing soccer, I'll be okay.
Yes.
So I'm glad that you love just as much the medals and the times and all of that.
Hmm.
What do you think separates someone that wins a gold medal to a silver medal or, bronze or even to get a medal? Like, Because when I think about running or these types of sports, like the difference is so close, right? We're talking about not even seconds. What do you think separates them? Is the habits that they have? It is the mindset. What is it?
Wow, that's a tough question because once you get to a certain level, I do think basically anyone within the top 5 to 10 are all like within the same level. They're doing pretty much the same training, um, same. Sometimes it's just the way the stars align. I truly believe like it happens, but I think experience helps a ton. I think I'll take Bergen for example. I was one of the older athletes there. That was my last U23. I had already had that experience in Finland, and the other girls I was racing were not in Finland. So I do think experience actually helps a ton, and the more experiences you can have, like the more you learn from those experiences, whether the race went good or bad. Just more experiences really help mature an athlete, make an athlete better when it comes to competition, and I think that definitely helps separate a gold from a silver. I mean, you see in the Olympics, some people finally get their medal after 4 to 5 years, or like 4 Olympic cycles. They have always been close to the podium, sniffing at the medals, and then after their fourth time or third try, they get the medals. So I think experience and just always putting in the work, punching the clock, staying motivated, staying hungry really helps separate someone from a gold to a bronze.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think it was a tennis player. I don't know if it was Nadal or someone like that, that they said that, look, if you look at the top like 100 top
Mhm.
players, they all have the same skills. So it's about the mindset on
Mhm.
how they handle pressure,
Mhm.
how they show up, and all those things, because we can train all together, eat the same things, and I mean it's gonna get to the point that we are all the same. So it's gonna
Mhm.
come down to other things that it's a little bit deeper and harder to
Mhm.
control. You mentioned that you didn't have a lot of injuries, but did you have any injuries that maybe stopped you from running to a certain point? Like, did that even like made you question about running or something like that? Did you have any times where you're like, ah, I don't know if I can do it? Real quick before we get back. As a vegan and a hybrid athlete, what I eat matters. And when it comes to quality, I don't compromise. That's why I have partnered with CaliforniaAvocadosDirect.com. They deliver fresh, hand-picked avocados straight from their family farm to your door. No middleman, no guessing, just real fuel that supports how I train and recover. They even offer subscriptions so you're never running out. And my followers get an exclusive discount code which you can check on the show notes. And big thanks to California Avocados Direct for powering this episode and helping me stay fueled the right way. Now, let's get back into the show.
So yes, I've been a very healthy athlete and I am so grateful for that. And like I do think me being a healthy athlete also doesn't come by accident. Like I train super hard, but my recovery is even harder. Like I'm getting a lot of sleep. I'm always icing my body, taking hot tubs, taking Epsom salt baths, stretching, doing a lot of PT. I'm lucky my mom's a physical therapist, so that's definitely helped me stay healthy. But I've had injuries. I'd say like my worst injury was it put me out for about 2 weeks and getting in the pool every day. I remember like when you get an injury or you get a little hurt, as I call it, because I've been lucky not to be out for months, but like sometimes I'll have to take like a week or 2 weeks to just let something heal up. I always find at first it's very hard to deal with because my body's so used to just running every day. So when you all of a sudden you have to stop that, the first week can be really hard to process what's happened. But I find staying in routine really helps me get through some of the injuries. So I'm like, okay, dang, like I can't run today, but what can I do that will be similar to running? Okay, I'm gonna go to the pool. And what am I gonna do in the pool? I'm gonna swim like as if it was a run. So let's say I had a 45-minute run that day. okay, I'm just gonna go swim in the pool for 45 minutes. And I kind of just try, when I've had to cross train or deal with little hurts, I try to just replicate running as close as possible, whether that be in the pool, on the bike, elliptical, different cross training methods. And it's kind of like, I always think like just trying to replicate running as close as possible helps with injuries, and keeping a positive mindset, surround yourself with your friends and your family, stay happy, because it can definitely be really hard for athletes who deal with injuries.
For sure. I want to ask for some advice for the athletes that are listening to us. Can you think of a mindset shift that has helped you the most in your career so far?
I think I'll go back to I call it don't compare, compete, because I think something that's really helped me in a sport like track and field that is so based off of times and measurement is the compare game. And I've just tried to focus on myself, focus on my own unique journey. I mean, something really cool that I've learned in sports and athletics, especially, is how unique everyone's journey is. Like, no one is going to write the same story. So, write your own unique story. Don't compare to other people, because your own unique story is special and awesome in itself. So, kind of just focusing on myself has really helped me, especially when I got to college. I was definitely more of a comparer when I was in high school, but now that I'm in college, I think
Mhm.
I've learned, okay, um, I'm going to write my own journey, my own story. And I still struggle with this. It's not always going to be perfect, but I always do come back to, okay, don't compare, compete. And that's what I tried to do, is don't play the compare game. And whenever some of those negative thoughts or hard on yourself thoughts come into your brain, recognize them, and then immediately I always like snap my finger and I'm like, nope, I'm going to switch that negative thought with a positive thought. So being aware of your thought process is also so important in the sport, keeping your head grounded.
I like the snap your finger technique a lot.
Yes. Thank you.
What would you tell younger athletes who are struggling to see progress? Maybe they are hitting that wall that you mentioned a little bit. Like, what
Mhm.
would you tell them? I know you just gave some advice, but sometimes we just struggle to see progress. And especially in track and field, I feel like it's so complicated because,
Mhm.
there's a time that you have to hit, but for some reason you just can't. What would you
Mhm.
tell them?
Oh, this is a great question, because there's so many times that I go through my head. I'm like, wow, I wish I could have told my younger self that. Or like, I picture my younger self and I give her a little pat on the back. But I think the biggest thing I would tell younger athletes is patience. If you truly want something, you truly want to achieve something, have patience in knowing it's not going to happen overnight. When I look back on my running journey, a lot of the goals, basically almost every big goal I have achieved in my running journey has taken at least 4 years to complete. And like, that sounds like a lot, but trust me, if you keep just punching the clock, going, doing your best every day, like, it will come. For some, it comes quicker than others. Some, it takes even longer. I know for me, a lot of my goals, yes, have taken 4 years, and the new goals I set for myself, I'm aware, okay, this is a 2 year to 4 year journey. It could be more than that, but I'm just going to keep working hard and at least go for it. And just having that patience, knowing, okay, these big dreams and goals you have for yourself, they don't happen overnight. If they happened overnight, then it wouldn't be a journey or a process. And I think patience is so key. And in that, during that progress, just keep positive on yourself and know it will come. And when your time comes, it just feels so amazing, because those big moments have really taken a lot of athletes, like anywhere from 2 to 4 years, even more than that.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like for athletes that are thinking that, oh, I don't want it to take 4 years, I want to make it quicker. I mean, sure, but if you don't enjoy the process, if you don't go through the
Mhm.
process, there's the only guarantee that you have is that you're not going to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve, right? So
Mhm.
the only other option is trying and and training, and it's going to take time, and it
Mhm.
might take 2 years, it might take, I don't know, a month, but if you don't try, then you never get there.
Yep.
What's one thing you wish more athletes understood about the mental side of sports?
That it's always going to be hard and that it's always going to be a journey. Just that mental health struggles in sports, it's a real thing. It's a real struggle and you're not alone. Knowing you're not alone is so important because sometimes it can feel overwhelming and like you are alone. But the truth is, so many teammates, friends, athletes I've talked to go through the same struggles I've gone through, and it's okay to have those struggles. Just know you're not alone. And it's also okay to, if those struggles become overwhelming, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to go see a psychologist, see a doctor, see a therapist. Like, sports are so hard mentally, and they really can mess with your brain. I always say, like, track and field especially is a mind F U C. Yeah, I'm not going to cuss on the camera, but you know what I mean. Like, it's a mind. Yeah. And so knowing you're not alone and knowing that there are so many resources available to you, and I'm so grateful I've taken advantage of those resources, and it's done nothing but help my journey as an athlete, is reaching out for help and connecting with others about mental health because it's a real thing in the sport for sure.
I love that. All right. So the last thing that I have for us, it's a mindset quick fire, and I purposely did not send this to you because I wanted to be, I didn't want you to think about it.
Yep.
So I'll say something, and then I'll have you either complete my sentence or just tell me whatever answer you have. I know we have a little bit of delay, so I'll give you a second, but I don't want you to think too much about it. It shouldn't be too hard though. You ready?
Sounds good. Yes,
All right.
ready.
So morning or evening training,
Morning.
pre-race song or silence,
Silence.
your strongest quality as an athlete,
Work ethic.
your biggest weakness you are working on,
Overworking.
phrase or quote that keeps you grounded.
Threes are. Oh, I'm stumped. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift.
Hey,
Or
that's
be
pretty good.
kind. Or be kind to the mind. I like that one too.
That's fair. I like that a lot. Pre-race meal,
Pasta. Yes. Definitely pasta. And then I guess the morning of the race I have cornflakes, bagel, banana, and my caffeine. That's so important.
toughest workout you ever done.
Jeez. Probably this last week I did 5 by a mile, starting at 5:10 and going down to 5:05, and we had a minute 30 rest in between on the turf. It was very tough.
Oh, God. All right. What does winning mean to you?
Doing your best every day, giving your all.
One thing you do every day, no matter what.
I shower every day. Athlete wise, I do stretch every day.
Okay, good. So shower and stretch. That's good.
Yes.
Finish the sentence. My mindset is
Good.
good.
Positive. My mindset is positive, yes.
Okay, awesome. That was it. You survived it.
Okay. Good, good. That was fun. There were some tough
Awesome.
ones in there, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really like how you came up with the quote. That was a good quote. Anika, thank you so much for joining me and taking the time. I know you are in season, you have a lot going on. The time zone is also different for us, but I really appreciate that. Loved diving deep into your mindset and some of the things that you do. And I'm sure that people that are gonna listen to this, they can take at least one thing or two that will definitely help their mindset and their performance. So thank you so much.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun, and I hope the viewers enjoy it.